Hello, Future Millionaire. Today's video coming to you from the $500,000 apartment location. And as you know, I have held a long-term belief that one day in the not too long distance future, you will be able to trade in one Bitcoin Cash for one apartment in a building like this one. To be exactly in this one, actually. So this one gives a bit more close look of an apartments, how they look like. They're usually 2-bedroom apartments. Some of them are 3-bedroom apartments. And ground floor has a bit more open space. Yes, the price here is between $500,000 to $1.2 million, depends on which level. And I firmly believe you will be able to buy real estate, good real estate, with your Bitcoin Cash one day. And here is your pathway how. Hello everyone. I'm running out of shooting locations that is good lighting and nice environment. So I'm coming back to locations I really enjoy. And I want to use this opportunity to show you again the big picture. So the topic today is why Bitcoin Cash is probably your safest investment right now among all the cryptos you can find out there. And I want to refer back to the BTC situation. As everybody knows, BTC has dropped basically 50% from the top. And to anybody who think BTC is a stable currency and has a long-term value story behind it, I would agree with that. However, they do ignore the fact that BTC is a highly volatile currency. And BCH is actually even more volatile. However, if you look at the chart of BTC versus BCH in the last few months, you'll realize one thing is, yes, BTC started running up earlier. However, BCH performed way better since the beginning of this year compared to now. So at any point of this time in 2021, if you bought BTC compared to BCH, you're actually far worse off. That is the one surprise most people continue to ignore. And what it does tell you is there is a long-term movement now going from BTC holding over to BCH holding. And let me give you a visual example. And I wish I have the prop here. I couldn't find any. Imagine two identical balloons, but two different colors. Imagine one green balloon, one red balloon. Everything else is identical, other than the color. Now, somebody blow up the green balloon all the way to this size, huge size. And the other person, another person blowing a separate balloon, the red one, just different color, same size, same everything, to this little size. So any logical person can figure out that if the person who blow into the smaller balloon continue to blow air into it, that balloon will expand to at least the same size as the other balloon would have gone to, because they're physically identical, just different in color. And now I want you to refer back to the BTC versus BCH situation. BTC has identical supply situation as BCH. And we are both capped at 21 million. The mining structure are very, very similar. And similar amount of coin have already been lost. Around 4 million coins so far have been lost. This is all identical in the same situation. The only difference is speculative demand. So how much air has gone into each one of the coin. Into the BTC coin has gone into $1.2 trillion so far at the height. And in the BCH situation, the maximum has reached is only $28 to $30 billion. So it's a far cry from $1.2 trillion. Put into perspective, 1.2 trillion is 1,200 billions, and versus the only 30 billion achieved on the BCH network. And also the all-time high of BCH network was not at 30 billion. It was actually a lot more. It's $70-80 billion, because at one point in time where all-time high was 3,000 plus US per coin. So on a relative term, right now, the absolute safest investment you can make in crypto space, from my perspective, is BCH, because what happened to BTC and what can still happen to BCH is already baked in. That means we can at least go to $60,000 coin based on the demand and supply situation in the BTC space. So look at today's price of around 600 US dollar. That means you have a safe return, a very safe speculative return of 100x from today's price. Is that the same for BTC? I'm not sure. It might be possible, but I cannot guarantee that. But in the BCH space, think about the two balloons. One is red, one is green. One has been blown up to a certain size. Another one has barely had any air in it. At least based on the one balloon that's gone to 1.2 trillion dollars, the other balloon should easily be able to go to at least similar size. And now most people think our bubble has been bursted, the balloon has blown up, and the BTC will never go back to that level again. To a certain degree, I will agree with you, because right now there's a lot of uncertainty regarding Tether and other stable coins. Also, people like Elon Musk is not helping. However, in the long term, I want you to know that there's still only a small fraction of the global capital has gone into crypto in general and into Bitcoin in specific. So of all the hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars in the world, in the bond market, in the real estate market, or the equity market, virtually none of that money has gone into crypto space. I want to flip the argument for Tether and against Tether on its head. Most people say BTC has been propped up by Tether. I would agree with that. In fact, 3 years ago, I made a video about Bitcoin in which I emphatically pointed out that Tether is not a stable currency as it seems to be, and there may be a scam behind it. This was obvious already 3 years ago, so I didn't want to talk about something that's basically old news. So now I want to flip this coin of the Tether on the other side. Look at this way. So far, Bitcoin BTC has gone up to $1+ trillion based on one or two stablecoin alone with some leverage. Now imagine what the effect will be if the other money that is stored inside the real estate market, that's stored in the bond market and stored in the equity market, is coming looking for a new home and going into the BTC space and Bitcoin space or crypto space in general. What kind of effect would that come? What if the biggest stablecoin of the world, US dollar, USD coin, as in the US dollar that's issued by US government since the last 100 years, that is coming loose, and that's been printed in the last 12 months by 30% increase. What if that coin comes into the BTC market and the BCH market? How big would BTC go? And just remember, the bigger the BTC goes, the bigger BCH can go, because they're the same balloon. They're made of the same material. Only difference is, I can say, is BCH is more fun to use, so the balloon of BCH is actually more colorful and has a nicer shape, and is easier to use, easier to blow up actually. So keep all that in mind, and I can tell you sincerely, at this moment of time, your absolute safest investment choice in the crypto space is Bitcoin Cash, because we can safely go 100x from today's price without any arguments, because it's already been done in the BTC space. All right, so far for this one, it's a bit long. I hope you don't mind, because I want to go really in depth today, telling people about the fundamental differences in those two coins and why BCH is such an amazing investment, particularly today. All right, see you in the next one.